I want a 300-pound bench press before Christmas. Here's exactly what I'm going to do to achieve it. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is understand that that's not a realistic goal, and I need to start practicing a lot longer and set my expectations a little bit lower in order to hit that goal. 300-pound bench press is not happening before Christmas because currently where I'm at, I'm sitting at 255 on bench, but let me give you the exact breakdown of how I'm going to get stronger on bench press so I can hit that number within the next coming months. So the first thing that you guys need to understand is strength equals technique or more muscle mass. Now let me explain this real quick. Strength is an adaptation, right? You can grow and get stronger, but in order to do so, you need to have better technique in the form of getting more stable in an exercise, having better motor unit recruitment, things like that will get you stronger. Now, once you've maximized your technique and you've gotten the best technique that you can possibly get on a bench press so you can hit that 300 pounds, you then need to just build more muscle mass. And there's a really simple way to do that. We know that building muscle requires two things. You need mechanical tension and you need motor unit recruitment. So in order to build more muscle mass, you just need to train in lower rep ranges with high amounts of mechanical tension. So you're getting to that involuntary slowing of the contractile phase. So what does this look like for a weekly volume, sets and reps? How should I program that? All right, now when it comes to weekly volume, we want either twice a week or 3 times a week in order to get better at the movement. The more times you have doing a movement, the better your technique is gonna be. And the better your technique is, the stronger you're gonna get. So either twice a week or 3 times a week. Maybe if you're training full body every other day, 3 times a week would be good to include bench press, but that might be a little excessive. You might not be able to recover from that. So I recommend twice a week. Let me pull that cap off there. Twice a week would be the way to go, right? That's the first thing. Now, when it comes to sets and reps, you can do things like 4x4s, 5x5s, 3x6s. I'm sure you've always heard these kind of just generalized how to get stronger sets and reps. But when it comes down to it, what we're looking for is, again, better technique. So we want to have more opportunity to load the weight. Putting your body under heavier loads is going to allow not just your motor unit recruitment to be more engaged, but you're also going to incorporate more of your central nervous system on that loading phase. So you're going to want to do higher weights in a lower rep range. This is why it's important to stick to something like 4x4s or 5x5s, even in the technique building phase of the process. Because again, the more repetitions you do, the better your technique is going to be. But when you're under such heavy loads, it's a lot harder for you to recover from that much volume. So it's better to do more sets and less reps, especially if you're trying to get stronger at something like the bench press. So here's what I'm going to personally do. I'm going to take my total weekly volume. I'm going to hit bench twice a week on both of my push days. So I do a chest and back day for my upper body day, and then I have an arm day for separately, but that's a whole different video. I'm going to do twice a week, weekly frequency bench press, so I get the amount of practice I need weekly. And then I'm also going to only do 2 sets of 5. So I'm only going to do 2 working sets of 5 reps when I'm doing the bench press. And let me explain why I'm doing that. Reason that I'm only doing 2 sets of 5 reps if I want to get stronger is because I've maxed out my technique here. My technique is pretty dang good. I've been lifting for going on 6 years. I'm pretty solid with my technique. So when it comes down to it, all I really need is a bigger chest and bigger triceps. So my main goal with the bench press is just to build more muscle at this point, building more muscle while continuing my technique, while continuing getting that better technique, loading heavier weights, and then generating more motor unit recruitment in the movement pattern that I'm trying to get stronger at. And that's why on top of just training chest or training bench twice a week, I'm also going to include things like flies. I'm going to include things for isolation push down movements to get my triceps bigger so I can have more muscle mass, more motor unit recruitment, more force production. And then I'm also going to warm up properly. And if you want to learn how to warm up properly for any kind of compound lift like this, make sure you leave a follow so you don't miss the next video where I talk about how to properly warm up for compound lifts and how you should properly warm up for isolation movements. And if you guys don't know me, my name is Josh, and I'll see you guys inside the sweat sphere.